Okay, hi guys, I'm gonna try this again. I went live just a minute ago and then, hold on, I'm crooked here. The ice cream truck came by. I could hear it, and Ian loves the ice cream truck on Saturdays. So I'm just gonna try. I don't know if anybody will jump on live, but I came on here today. I need to do better about live videos and just doing more stuff. So I'm here today to talk about the Hand Pen Petals Suite and to tell you why I did not buy this in the pre-order, and then why I did buy it in the new catalog order. So I initially didn't get this because it's flowers, and flowers are not necessarily my favorite thing, and we have a lot of flowers, but I saw so many people post really pretty things with it, and I think the colors in the suite and the DSP are really pretty. And I originally didn't buy it because I was like, that's fussy, you have to color this, and I totally didn't pay attention to these solid stamps in here. So this is a really, and now Wendy is banging on the door, sorry. This is a really versatile set, and I wanted to show you that today because I think we don't have enough sets that are just ink, paper, stamp and go. I love sets like that, like the one with the owl in the last catalog or 2 catalogs ago. You could make really quick, easy cards just with ink and paper, ink and note cards. So I want to show you a variety of stuff today. But this is the set and the matching dies. And this is the DSP. It's really, really pretty. I love the colors. I'm going to let her in really quick so she quits throwing herself against the door. Or not, because she went away. So I made this card, and this is kind of my stepped up card. Hi, Doris. It's a great set, and I'm hoping that I can show you that it's very versatile, and it's made for like easy, simple stamping, and then other stuff. I don't dislike coloring. I'm just impatient, and I don't do it a whole lot. So I colored this with my blends, and I often get a lot of questions about coloring with them, and I am not great. I am not an expert, but I thought I'd show you a little bit here on coloring. So let's work on this card. I'm going to do a version of this card, but just a more simple version without the dies. Okay, I am going to let her in because she's driving me insane. Hold on. Okay, she can get on her spot. She wants to look out the window. So I have already done the center of this flower with Daffodil Delight. Of course, I've stamped it in Memento, and I'm going to do this flower with the Pale Papaya and this with the Highland Heather. Again, I am not a coloring expert. This is just how I do it, what works for me. And that's the thing with these is you do what works for you, and I don't always do it the same twice. So this is my dark Pale Papaya, and I want the brush end. It's hard to do with my phone in the way here. So I'm just going to go over the parts I want a little darker to begin with, and then go in with my lighter color. And I kind of either color in strokes or like this because it's kind of a circular image. I'm just doing kind of some circular, and I don't worry about getting all the way to the edge because the ink spreads, and I think it looks kind of cute when it's messy. And so I'm just going to go over with my darker one more time, and then just really lightly kind of around those areas I went darker in. Just soften the edges a little bit. And it'll change a little bit as it dries. Yeah, I think the boys are outside. The ice cream truck came by, which is why I got off of here really quick. And so I think she's upset that some of her people are outside and she's not. So now I'm going to go in with my Highland Heather. I'm going to do half of this flower. Make sure I have the light. I have a problem with accidentally. And see, I'm just kind of doing brush strokes, and now she wants outside here. And again, not getting real close to the edges because remember this ink spreads. And then I'm going to go with my darker and just kind of do from the bottom up on these lightly, and I'm going to go back. And I think for this one, I'm going to use the bullet tip because I can really blend well with that. So in circular motions, again, I'm just kind of blending that out so that it softens the line a little bit. And I like this color, and this and the freesia I feel like are almost a neon. And see, I used my light and then I went to my dark when I really want my light. And on this one, just again, because of the way they're shaped, I'm doing more strokes here. And I really don't know what I'm doing. And I got a little out of the line there, but this is just go with the flow. Oh, they're playing basketball. I can hear the basketball. Again, so I'm going to add my dark. And then this one, I'm going to go in just a little bit with my brush tip. Just go over it and then go back in with that round bullet tip. And just soften it up a little bit. And some people like harsher lines. And that side looks a little darker, but it will change as it dries. No, I probably went too dark on that side, but you see it's drying. And there you go. Thank you. I still don't think I'm the best colorer in the world. Sorry, the alarm's in here and they're going in and out the door. So for this one, I'm just going to keep it really simple. And I'm going to pop this panel up if I can find my glue dots. There are definitely people who color a lot better than I do. And I've tried to understand shading and I'm like inept at telling you where like the light is coming from and the light hits. I always put the shadows and the shading in the wrong place. But it really doesn't matter. Nobody really cares. And the markers are pretty forgiving and I think they look pretty good no matter what. So even if you're like me and don't understand all that, you can still do it. So I'm just going to adhere that down and then stick my finger in the ink pad. Also, tip, your chamois is good for wiping your hands off when you stick your finger in your ink pad. Like I do. Okay, so I'm going to get this lined up. So I'm stamping, and I did it again. There we go. All right. And again, here's our fancier card. And I think for this one, I'm just going to cut it on an angle like that. Oh, I like that. And pop a couple dimensionals on here. I tried to plan this out ahead of time, but I always change things as I go. Am I still in the frame? So I'm just going to put this right here like that. And you have two cards that are basically the same idea, but this one is fairly simple. I like the angle too because of the way the T is. And then this one, of course, I've added the little in color embellishments and a little bit of the mint macaron, and that is mint there that I did the flower with. This is some of the DSP, so the pale papaya. And so two pretty easy cards with coloring. Again, this one's just stepped up a little bit. Okay, now she wants out. Hold on. Wendy. Get out of here. Okay, if I leave the door cracked, maybe she can come back in. And then I did this on our watercolor paper. I stamped this in StazOn. And then I actually used our colored pencils, mainly this assortment too. And I'm not going to do this on camera, but I just colored them kind of like I colored with the blends, adding some darker shading. And you just take I like them both. I like white space, so, but you just take your, not blender pen, what is this, aqua painter, and spread the color out. So if you're not great at watercoloring, the watercolor pencils are really great, and I think this was a really pretty, I put some darker green and lighter green on there, and the same thing with the purple. But again, a versatile set, and now I'm going to make a super simple, I've got one of our note cards. Oh, I had these out. I thought I might throw some pearls on here, but I kind of like it the way it is. So I've got Highland Heather, and I'm actually going to stamp this one. I did this the other day. Sometimes I feel like the black, like this is a very, I don't know. I like the black, but sometimes I want a softer look. I don't know if you can see, this is a bigger stamp, so I often turn my stamps upside down and ink like that. But I'm going to do basically the same card, just on a note card. I'm short, and I really want this to stamp well. I'm not using my Stamparatus. I didn't want to get it out. So that worked okay-ish. It's a little light in there. The Stamparatus would have fixed that. But I like this because it's very easy, and I'm going to stick with the same color scheme here just for ease of video. And luckily my colors are different enough that I'm not going to, and somehow I have put my mint macaron strip on my Highland Heather pad. I don't know what's going on here, sorry. I have no idea what that's about. That's weird. Okay, I'll look into that later. But let's do our leaves. And I don't know if there's a right way or wrong way to do this. I probably did those upside down, but that's okay. I think they actually go like that, but it still looks good. Ian's injuring himself apparently. Sorry. And then, let's see. Oh, I didn't put the right thing on here. I think it's this one. I tried to plan ahead. And so for this, you just, and they don't line up perfectly, which is good because it's not supposed to be perfect. I probably should have stamped that off. I think that would have looked better because that's a pretty pigmented color. That would have looked pretty stamped off, but it's still gonna look pretty. Let's see how this one looks. This is a really juicy ink pad because this is the first time I think I've stamped with pale papaya. Didn't line that great either, but that's pretty. I will say the one thing I'm going to do, if I can find a blender pen, is there is no stamp for this. These are really pigmented colors. Yeah, I don't think that one's discolored. I think I put the wrong one on it, period. That is not beyond me. So I got my blender pen, and I'm just going to add just a little bit of color in the little bud area and down the stems because it's bothering me that it's... And again, I did that one upside down, but it doesn't really bug me. So this is a really, 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 really simple card. And then I'm just going to stick my sentiment on here. And I mean, it's not fancy, but it's cute and it totally works. So I'm really glad I got this set because it does lend itself so well to being versatile. And I could have heat embossed it and done watercoloring that way with my inks. But again, there's just a lot of stuff that you can do with it. So I hope this video was helpful and gave you some helpful tips. Thanks for joining me, and have a happy Saturday.